Hey y'all, so this particular video is about compassion. So if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that I've been really invested into Tessica Brown, aka Gorilla Glue Girl. She said her name is Tessica Brown, so I'm going to be referring to her as Tessica Brown because she is a person at the end of the day. So I've been a lot of us have been invested into the story, whether you have been positively or negatively invested. And something that really disgusted me this week about this particular story is the response from not men, not non-black people, but from black women. And being that I have an audience of black women, I really feel compelled to address this subject. And my whole point in all of this is that lady did not give us any information other than she had that glue in her head and she tried to get it out with the tea tree oil and coconut oil and she went to the hospital and left. And instead of us just kind of waiting to see how it played out, it took us 3 days to decide everything. 3 days to decide everything that she said was false. She was seeking attention and it's not accurate and she's trash and she needs to burn in hell and all of this stuff. All because of what people were making up about her. People making up that she had a lawsuit. People making up that she was being rude to the stylist and she was ignoring them and not accepting help. In my opinion, when you're presented with a situation and you're not given all of the information surrounding them, what you choose to believe and what you choose to assume is indicative about you as a person. If you choose to assume the absolute worst, if you choose to assume everything negative and believe everything negative without information, without facts being presented to you, you are a negative person. You are a pessimist. You are toxic. Now, I thought this whole situation was bizarre, but not one time did I ever sit there and think, well, she must be doing it for clout, because she never did anything to indicate that. Leaving the ER didn't indicate that. Turning down the stylist and saying that she preferred a doctor didn't indicate that. Starting a GoFundMe did not indicate that. Those are just, starting a GoFundMe, there's nothing inherently wrong with starting a GoFundMe. There's nothing inherently wrong with preferring to go to a dermatologist over a cosmetologist. And there's nothing inherently wrong with leaving the ER. What you choose to formulate in your mind about those different things is indicative of you as a person. And I really feel like a lot of the people who are making these posts bashing her, those are the real clout chasers. Because you did all that for what? And I haven't seen not one of them apologize to this woman. And I'm not asking y'all to baby this woman, enable this woman. Hell, I'm not asking y'all to help this woman. All I'm saying is that we need to have more compassion with each other, especially black women. We have it so hard, and it's disgusting and it's disappointing and it's sickening when black women are hard on other black women like that for no reason, for no absolute reason other than y'all saw it on day 1 and y'all wanted it out by day 3. Y'all got sick of seeing it and then y'all decided, well, since I'm sick of seeing it, then I'm gonna assume the worst possible thing about it. I'm just glad she was strong enough to do what she wanted and she had a comfortable experience at the hands of black physicians and black professionals. I really am, because y'all would have had her just to appease y'all. She could have been in excruciating pain for no reason. No reason. And the thing is, it's out of her head now and people are still in the comments like it would have been out sooner. Listen to what you're saying. She was in pain at the ER and we don't know what kind of pain she would have been at a salon, because they can't administer anesthesia. They can't administer morphine. They can't even prescribe her with antibiotics. I'm sure she's gonna need antibiotics because that glue got all kind of toxic chemicals in it and her scalp was apparently very porous, which means it was absorbing stuff, and that's why her hair was stinging so bad. Not only that, they can't prescribe her any kind of topical treatments to help soothe her scalp going forward to help heal, because I know her skin is damaged. I know it is. So listen to what you're saying. You would have preferred her sit in the ER for 20 hours burning and in pain, or at a cosmetologist being exposed to what, who knows what kind of germs. Maybe they were or were not gonna get it out. These same people y'all don't even trust to cut y'all ends. Then her wait a few more days to go have a comfortable experience. That is sick. That is disgusting. That is trifling. Come on. So for those of you, at this point I feel like everybody has heard about her, but just for anybody who has not, I'm gonna give you a rundown. 7 days ago from this video, a woman came onto TikTok and Instagram and asked for help because she put Gorilla Glue on her hair when she ran out of Gots to Be gel, or Gots to Be, whatever that spray is. I'm not familiar with it. She later explained that her logic behind it was she ran out and she was thinking that, oh, I can just put this glue on there, run an errand, come right back and just rinse it off. That's what she was thinking. Now, was what she did dumb? Absolutely. That was stupid. It was dumb. It was, like, whatever. There's no excuse. I'm not here to excuse that at all. She did something ridiculous, but she did it. And she sat like that for 4 weeks. We don't know what she did in those 4 weeks to get assistance, but more than likely, she was embarrassed. She probably tried not to tell nobody. We just don't know what she did in those 4 weeks. She ended up coming to social media for assistance. She didn't have a lot of followers at the time, so for all we know, that was just for her family and friends to assist her, but it ended up going viral. In doing so, a lot of people at first, the first 2 or 3 days of her going viral, were very supportive. They were like, try this, try that, do this, do that. People were reaching out like, oh, I can send you this, or oh, I can fly you here to do that, whatever. A couple days later, she had posted where she tried one of the suggestions, which was, I think someone told her to wet her hair, put tea tree oil and coconut oil on it, sit under a dryer or something with a plastic cap to kind of loosen it up. She said she tried that, it failed. She was going to the ER because she was starting to become in pain. So she goes to the ER. And this is where, at this point, I feel like this is where it started to go left. This was probably about day 3 or 4. She goes to the ER. And everybody's like sending out their prayers. We're all still in support, right? She goes to the ER. And then she announces that she left the ER. At that point, it didn't matter why she left the ER. But people just decided, oh, you must really not want it off your head. You milking this. You dragging it out. Just get it out. So she ended up saying that they said that it was going to take her, it was burning her so bad that she was in so much pain that her heart rate was up so high that these licensed physicians, these medical professionals, said that her heart rate was so high from the pain that they needed to stop. And it was going to take them 20 hours to do this. So she left. They told her that you can go do the stuff at home. She took the stuff to do it at home with her friend or whoever has been in the videos with her. And she decided to do that at home. That, to me, that won't no problem. Because one, we all know this is a thing, that physicians and black women don't get along. We don't. They don't really respect our pain tolerance. They don't. I'm gonna fast forward to a little bit because she ended up getting it done, and then where she went was it was a black doctor, black nurses. They ended up putting her under anesthesia and they got it all out and everything is good now. She wasn't given that option, and the nurse in the picture at the ER was white. Why didn't they give her that option? So anyway, back to the ER. So she opted to do it at home. At that point, everybody just dragged her. And I'm sitting here like, does she not deserve a second opinion? Like, the fact that she wanted a second opinion or didn't want to sit there for 20 hours being burned, why did that warrant her being dragged? She later came back after everybody just started going in, roasting her. She later came back and said, one, it was too painful, and two, she had to go get her kids. She was not prepared to sit in there for 20 hours. We don't know this woman's life. She could have said, oh, my kid's at school, I'm gonna go to the ER. Oh shoot, I can't be here for 20 hours. I gotta go pick my child up from school. We don't know what kind of support system she has. For all we know, her mother can't drive and the daddy not there. We don't know this woman's life. And at the end of the day, she has the right to leave that hospital and decide she wants to do something else. This is a grown woman. But at that point, it was like everything just went shambles. I told y'all I've been posting about it, and I'm glad I have, because a lot of people were having conversations with me like, oh, well, she is dumb and she did it out. And as we talk, and they're saying, well, she did it out, and I'm asking them, well, how do you know that? And at the time, I didn't have all the information, like when she left the ER, and I'm like, well, how do you know she don't have health insurance? How you know she wasn't scared? Why doesn't she have the right to have a second opinion? And I'm asking these questions to people who are making all these assumptions at the time it is happening, and they can't say nothing. They just, all they have to say back is, well, she should have did this. Well, she should have did that. But she didn't do that. She's not you and you're not her. So then it just became a probe into her life. People were saying that, oh, you don't want this help. Oh, such and such reached out to you and you declined her. A lot of stylists reached out offering to help and showing all these demos on these wigs where they were putting glue on wigs, or they were saying, oh, I've done this before, I can get it out, blah, 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 blah. And it came out that, oh, she's declining help. She don't want help. And she left the ER. She doesn't want help. One, we've already established, I just established, she didn't have to stay at that ER. That is her body. That is her choice. That is her scalp. That is her time. That is her money. That's all of that is hers. She can do all that without being dragged. Now we're at the point where stylists are reaching out. She was declining, and a stylist came out actually and said that she declined me because she said she wants to go to a physician. And the same stylist said that when she talked to her about what was going on with her scalp, based off what the stylist was telling her, she needed to go to a doctor because her scalp was so raw. It was so painful, it was so sore. So nobody took that into account, that a doctor might have been the better option. They just dragged her because she was saying no to these stylists. Again, this is a grown woman. It don't matter what she did to put herself in that situation. She has the right to decide how she wants to go about getting treatment. It's her scalp, it's her head, it's her time, it's her money. Well, we're gonna get to the money. So then she also starts a GoFundMe. Initially, the GoFundMe was for $1,500, and I believe it was for just wigs, because she was thinking that she was just gonna go get it taken out. And she started the GoFundMe after she went to the ER. So she reached the $1,500 goal. And if you were in her comments, you saw people were asking her, where can I give you money? Can I send you this? Can I do you that? You need something for your kids? Like, people, you know, people on the internet flock to show love. Most of us. A lot of y'all was just in there being trifling. But so she does the GoFundMe. It reaches the $1,500 goal. At this point, she's saying that she wants to go to an actual doctor. There were rumors saying that she did not have health insurance, and that she was a teacher, but she's currently not working. I'm not sure how true that is. I never seen that come out of her mouth. I never seen her post that, but that's what people were saying. There were a lot of lies too going on about her. So people were like, oh, keep the GoFundMe up, we'll help you pay for your medical expenses. At this point too, Chance the Rapper came and was saying that he'll cover her medical expenses. But people still, on their own, she never made a post saying, please go donate to my GoFundMe. People were asking, she put it in the bio. It was completely on your own if you went up there and donated, because she never solicited. She never exactly said, give me some money. She just put it up there and people could do what they wanted with it or not. You didn't have to donate. But, so yeah, she collected the donations. At that point, people were like, well, she can go back to the hospital now because now she got, I think at the time it was like $1,200. I don't know how much she has now. I think, not $1,200, $12,000. But she was like, she can go back to the hospital and she don't need to take Chance money. I mean, everybody just in the comments telling this grown woman how to maneuver. At this point, everybody who's helping can see everything. So if Chance sees that, oh, she got $17,000 and he still wants to come out of the kindness of his heart to pay for her treatment, who are you to shame her for that? These are people helping her. How y'all getting on this lady for how other people choose to help her? I even had a conversation as it pertains to that money, and I'm not gonna get into that money, what she does with that money, because it's not my business, it's her business. It's between her and the people who donated to her. The people who were complaining about the money that she had, I sat there and was like, well, did you donate the money? Because you can request a refund through GoFundMe. No, then mind your business. But I had a conversation. This girl said that, well, since people are giving her money, we have the right to tell her what to do. No, you don't. When you give a homeless person money, when you give somebody on the streets money, because they all ain't necessarily homeless, do you proceed to follow them around and tell them how to spend that money? No. Treat her with the same respect. Of course she didn't. I said that and I got no response. But it's like, what can you say? Why doesn't she deserve that same respect? Why doesn't that black woman deserve that same level of respect? You donate the money. After that, you're giving out of the kindness of your heart. You're not giving because that person is now in debt to you. When you donate money, when you go on GoFundMe, or when you give somebody money who is suffering, you're doing it out of the kindness of your heart. If you're not doing it, then you don't need to give nobody no money because they don't owe you shit. All of that is going on. She getting dragged for that. Then this is when it hit the peak where everybody was just through. But some blog just posted that she was suing Gorilla Glue. And at that point, everybody's like, oh, she did this on purpose. She's doing it for clout. Not ever once did that manager that she had, we'll get to the manager too. Not ever once did that manager that she have issue a statement saying that. Never did she say that. She later came back and said she did not hire an attorney to sue Gorilla Glue. She has never initiated a lawsuit and never said out her mouth that she was going to sue Gorilla Glue. At this point, the blogs are lying. Flat out lying. And this is not the first time. Matter of fact, the blogs right now are circulating a rumor about Lauren London being pregnant, and she's still grieving the loss of love of her life, and she has to address that. Blogs lie every day. And my whole point in all of this is that lady did not give us any information other than she had that glue in her head and she tried to get it out with the tea tree oil and coconut oil, and she went to the hospital and left. And instead of us just kind of waiting to see how it played out, it took us 3 days to decide everything. 3 days to decide everything that she said was false. She was seeking attention and it's not accurate, and she's trash, and she needs to burn in hell and all of this stuff. All because of what people were making up about her. People making up that she had a lawsuit. People making up that she was being rude to the stylist and she was ignoring them and not accepting help. To me, that wasn't not accepting help. She decided what she wanted to do because she announced days ago on her post, one of her posts, she said that I'm going to LA to a specialist to get it surgically removed. And that's what she wanted to do. They had already told her that they can put her under, so it'll be a seamlessly painless, because she's gonna be under. I'm sure when she woke up she was in pain, but she wouldn't have to sit there in agony for 20 hours or sit there in agony for hours in a salon chair getting that soaked out of her hair with acetone. Acetone burns. If you have ever got your nails done with a little boo-boo on your finger and you had to dip that in some acetone, it stings. Imagine that on your whole scalp. Imagine that. We talking about a little nick on your finger stinging. Imagine your whole head feeling that way. Come on, y'all. And my whole point in all of this, again, is I'm just really disturbed by the lack of compassion. People lie all the time, but I'm just really disturbed by the lack of compassion and all these narratives and things that we made up about this woman. That really disturbed me. And one of my things I've been talking about this year is that we need to have more grace with one another. You can think what she did was stupid. I think what she did was stupid. But it's never my place as a human being, nor your place as a human being, to go and ridicule somebody for the decisions that they made. And social media just gives people this sense of entitlement that they can tell people how to live their lives. They have the right to comment. I mean, you can comment, everybody has an opinion, but you don't have the right to do that to somebody. And what really, really irks me is that we all scream and holler, protect black women, until it's time to protect black women. Thinking about the situation, like, all in my head, what I'm thinking is, if it was me, and I went to the ER and they told me that 20 hours they can get it out of my head, but my heart rate is going to be jumping up so high from pain that they're going to have to stop in between. That's why it's going to take so long. I would leave too. And me, well, half of us don't even trust these stylists to trim our ends, let alone remove something that is literally melded to your scalp. Y'all, come on, be real. Half of us don't even trust. Look, we on YouTube all the time watching all kind of hair tutorials and whatnot because we don't trust these stylists with our natural hair. Y'all saying y'all trust a stylist in place of an actual licensed dermatologist? Like, come on, y'all. Come on. Like, that was just so, and it really boiled down to, there's no way that her situation was upsetting people so bad. It's really, in my opinion, when you're given some information or you're presented with a scenario, in my opinion, when you're presented with a situation and you're not given all of the information surrounding that information, what you choose to believe and what you choose to assume is indicative about you as a person. If you choose to assume the absolute worst, if you choose to assume everything negative and believe everything negative without information, without facts being presented to you, you are a negative person. You are a pessimist. You are toxic. Now, I thought this whole situation was bizarre, But not one time did I ever sit there and think, well, she must be doing it for clout. Because she never did anything to indicate that. Leaving the ER didn't indicate that. Turning down the stylist and saying that she preferred a doctor didn't indicate that. Starting a GoFundMe did not indicate that. Those are just, starting a GoFundMe, there's nothing inherently wrong with starting a GoFundMe. There's nothing inherently wrong with preferring to go to a dermatologist over a cosmetologist. And there's nothing inherently wrong with leaving the ER. What you choose to formulate in your mind about those different things is indicative of you as a person. And I really feel like a lot of the people who are making these posts bashing her, those are the real clout chasers. Because you did all that for what? And I haven't seen not one of them apologize, despite facts coming out that she never said she was going to sue. She even, as I think it was her or a manager or a friend, somebody even clarified why she got management. And she should have gotten management. TMZ, the Shade Room, CNN, all these different places were putting her picture on their platforms, and those platforms are monetized. Therefore, they're making money off of her platform, and they're telling lies about her. She needed a manager, somebody to manage that, somebody to control what was being said, somebody to help her tell her story without it being manipulated, because black women are often exploited and manipulated. But nobody saw that. Think about it. You're in a situation and the news just runs with your story. They're making money off of the ads that they're placing on the whatever outlet, which is their websites and whatnot, even YouTube, even on TV. They're profiting off of your story and not telling it right, and they're making money off of you. Come on, y'all. She didn't need a manager for that. Really? And what gets me is people would just rather her had sat there for 20 hours in excruciating pain, or go to a stylist who may or may not have gotten it out just to see, than her sit there and wait. Because this whole thing only lasted 7 days. 7 days, y'all. People would have rather her in the first 2 or 3 days be in pain and get it out, because it would have been more visually appealing to them than giving her the opportunity to see what other options that she had. And I'm so glad that she's strong enough as a woman that she didn't just cave to the pressure of y'all, because she was able to, if you guys haven't seen this on TMZ, she was able to have a seemingly comfortable, that's the word, a comfortable experience with a black dermatologist to get that out of her head. Not only that, she was able to keep her head. This whole situation just really, it rubbed me so wrong. Not because she did something stupid, just because how black women attacked her. Y'all didn't have no grace for this woman. None. There are a lot of things I see on the internet that I disagree with. I think it's dumb. I would never do. I would do differently. I keep scrolling. It's not my place. Especially when it's a black woman. And she's doing what she wants to do with her body. And she ain't hurting nobody else. We need to have more compassion with one another. We need to have more grace with one another. Because this was absolutely disgusting and disappointing. Because it's protect black women. The slow ones, the ones you disagree with, the ugly ones, the pretty ones, the ones with Gorilla Glue on their hair, the ones with they ain't gonna track glue on their hair. Protect black women, period.